guys, we are about to begin our next phase of decor. As you can see, we've got the pink tablecloth down. This is a garland from Dollar Tree, and you get the little hearts on it. That pink vase is actually going to be part of our project, and the little heart made of candy canes is Kid Mad's doing. Whereas the steampunk stuff, I have moved it all over here. So I really don't want to take it down because it looks cool. So we're going to start some projects here in the month of February for the decoration known as, well, for Valentine's Day. So stay tuned. Greetings, boys and ghouls. Dr. Von Mad here, and we're going to paint ourselves a Valentine's owl. And yes, I know. Why owls? Because the fact that I can buy these en masse. And they tend to be fairly well received, so owls it is. I gotta get myself a paint rag to begin with. So, got my old orange shirt here. What that was. Now, we're going to paint this owl. So the first thing I got to do is let's get this cord cut off of it, because while some people hang them by these, I don't like these cords. They get in my way when I'm painting. So we're going to do away with that. Now for the owl's coloring, got an assortment of reds and pinks and whites and blacks here, so that we can make this a truly Valentine's owl. So let's begin. We're gonna go with I think we're gonna go with a little bit of Parisian pink, just because I think it'll look nice. Now we're gonna get ourselves a big old fat brush. Show you it when I get all the water off of it, because I don't want to drip water onto this. And this brush is maybe not great. Let me see here. Well, actually, it limbered up a bit. It's not perfect, but we'll see how it works. So, it's an old brush, so I truly do not expect it to be great. It's leaving some bristles behind, which I do not like. I may have to go in behind it with a newer, less beat up old brush. As a matter of fact, I may just do that. Maybe it's time to retire this one and bring in a new contender, as it were. So we're going to bring in the new brush here. We got some glue trying to stick to us here. And they ain't even fired up the glue gun yet. Yeah, the month of February. I don't know if y'all have ever heard the story of Saint Valentine. Saint Valentine was a Roman. And while he was not a Christian, he sympathized a great deal with Christians and the plight of those who had been persecuted by the Roman authorities. So he would hide them and let them have their services in his house. Well, when they caught him, naturally they killed him. But he told them to always remember their Valentines, and he was killed on February 14th. Or at least that's what I understand. We got a bit of a splinter or something right there. Well, we'll work around it. Now, so that's where that comes from. Now, a lot of the trappings of Valentines do have their origin in the pagan world. Cupids, for example. Now, the historical Cupid, or the mythological Cupid, had two arrows. He had a lead one, and he had a gold one. Now, the lead one would cause people to hate. And the gold one would cause them to love. And at least once, somebody got poked with an arrow, and they were supposed to fall in love with the next person that they saw, and through some joke or whatever, and I don't understand the full story, but I do understand the result. A guy named Narcissus, the first thing he saw, whereupon being shot with Cupid's arrow, was a tidal pool, or a pool, and therein was his face. And he fell in love with himself, which is where we get the term narcissism. Now, let's go over this with another coat. Let's see where we're at. Oh, we're doing good. Okay. So, now we as Christians need to remember to love each other as God also loved us. So, now, go ahead and clean this off. Still kind of just, I don't know, I may keep it that way, but I think that's about as good as that's going to get. No. Now, let's go ahead and go with our next coat. Now, I think I'm going to go with a little hot rod red, even though I've got some lipstick red. I want to try this new. Let's see. We could also go with white or black, but I think I'm going to go with the hot red and see how it looks. So let's go ahead and clean this off, and we'll go ahead and see if this clashes too much. And it don't. Now, here's where we're going to do a few things differently than I do my normal owls. And I think it'll become readily apparent. Probably should have put that just a tad lower. Normally I just put a circle here, but today we're going to paint a heart. You know, the Egyptians, the heart was the one thing they left in the body. Just because they believed it was the seat of intelligence. Oddly enough, they removed the brain. And to this day, there are many people who have way too much emotion and not enough sense. Okay. We're going to let that dry. Meantime, I'm going to keep using our hot rod red because I have something in mind. I'm going to get my liner brush done. Get it ready, and we're going to put a little bit of detail here. Then we'll see what I can do. how this is going to turn out, but we're going to try it anyway. I'm just going to put a few, but I'm going to try to make some hearts of different colors here too. That's kind of, and I will put some shading in place, just kind of outline what we want. Now, we'll leave some of these absent because I want to get rid of the stringers from the glue, because I don't even know why we're getting stringers from glue here. Get a little bit more of this. Now, there we go. Now then, that takes care of the red. Not quite done, but we're going to conclude the use of the hot rod red for right now. And that's our back paint, so we're done with that. Let's see how this looks. The candy pink. If it blends in too much with the backdrop, then we'll have to use it. I'll use it on the darker red areas once we're done. But I want to make this feathers heart-shaped if possible, and that's going to be way too. That's going to blend in. So we'll save this and use it for the details and the highlighting on the red. So we got some metallic bright red. We'll go ahead and use it because we need a little bit of glittery going on. Let me go ahead and shake this paint up and wash. Check this. We got 7 minutes left on the camera. Now, let's go ahead and put a few details. Not going to put too many of these on, but we're going to have a couple maybe. Now we'll put one right here. Feels good to be painting again. There we go. Now, that's looking good thus far. I'm kind of happy with the way that's turned out. Alright, that's the bright red. We'll move it over here. Now we got some darker red, I think is lipstick red, and we'll see how this compares. And there'll be some white and black hearts all over it too. That's kind of have an idea as to what I want done. Yeah. And I hope everybody this year has somebody to love on them for Valentine's. I think that it'd be truly tragic if there was somebody in this world that wasn't loved. And we both know it happens, and it is a tragedy. There we go. Now, over here with that. Now we've got some light pink we're going to try too. What they call cameo pink. I'd call it carnation pink. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, one of my hairs fell off. There we go. Now, I want an assortment of feathers on this. And then we'll put a few. There we go. That looks pretty cool, I think. I'm also going to color his feet in this color. If it'll let me. Now, I think we're going to let that dry for now, because we'll have to do some more work on it. So we'll be back with you in the morning and we'll finish this up. Alright guys, Dr. Von Mad back, and we're going to be working some more on our owl. Looking for my paint rag, and there it is. I got a sock with a hole in it. That'll do the job nicely. I've got to do a little bit, and I wish I'd quit leaving my liner brush in the water. But anyway, we're going to touch this up a little bit, because I need to... I think I used hot rod red, not lipstick red for this. Alright, let me see here. That's candy apple. Right here. See how it's kind of just a little bit wonky? I'm going to see if I can do a little more towards getting it cleaned up here. Try to get a cleaner look for it. So I can get the biggest brush we got, and see if I can use it to get this, kind of get rid of these brush strokes, because I don't like that. There we go. We got a little bit of paint. I don't want that much paint, but we need a little bit. Oh, why are we getting shades of green? That's not going to work. Alright, so let's clean off the green. I don't know why we're getting shades of green. So, we can't have that. No idea why we were getting green out of all that. Now, I'm going to see, get some of this off, and I'm going to, there we go. I'm trying to even this up. And as I don't tend to work with stencils, that means I'm going to have to be very cautious in how I do this thing. Now, so now we'll go ahead and I'm probably going to end up using the liner brush anyways. As you can see, we got a little bit of white up around these edges, and I do not like that, Sam. I am. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around here and up here. But yeah, and I hope everyone has a good Valentine's Day come the 14th. And if you know somebody who doesn't have a Valentine in their life, maybe you ought to go send them a card or make them something and let them know that people are thinking about them. It's a sad world out there, and you know, we get through it by way of the people that we meet. Now, let's see what else we got here. Candy apple red. And that's going to be our next one. And then we'll go to the black and the white. So I'm going to put a few hearts on it here. Let's turn it this way and paint another one right here. Let's see if we can make it just a little bit more heart-like. There we go. Now then, rinse off my liner brush. See, we haven't put the face on yet, but we're going to. We're going to go with some lipstick red. I don't think we've used it yet. Let's see if we can do anything with the lipstick red. Yeah, alright, now I have to eventually get me some more lipstick red. This paint is kind of thick, and I'm thinking it's probably on the latter end of what'll be usable. So, see, it's just kind of a clumped up deal here. There we go. And we'll put some more little dots in there once we're done with doing the rest. Now, we got 2 more to do. Because I'm going to put hearts all around it. So I want it to be a Valentine's owl. So we're going to paint some white ones on it. Oh, I'm getting pink, and that's not going to work. I'm going to have to rinse this thing off more. So I don't want it contaminating my white paint. There we go. One white one right there. Now I have to grab a couple more here. Now, over here. And there you are. Now, let's see if I can paint some. I gotta paint some black ones on here too. So, let's go ahead and put the white paint over here. So we're gonna have to paint the little dark spots on the owl right in here. And I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the eyes. And the beak. But this is going to be a Valentine's owl, and I know that seems a little odd, but I had these on hand, so we're going to make use of them. No, we don't usually associate owls with Valentines, but we're going to make it work. So, I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put a black heart, black outline. I'll put one here. And one there. Now, let's figure out what we're going to do with the eyes, because I got to let this dry a few minutes. And I can do the beak, but I've got to figure out exactly how we're going to do the beak. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it doesn't all have to be, I'll give him a black beak. I got a little bit too much water in this thing, I suspect. Now, there we go. I'm just going to paint a few black hearts on this chest here. Alright. Oh, too much water. Did not get I don't know why my paint's suddenly so thin. I may have to clean off, make sure there ain't no water dripping down the paint nozzle here. Okay, now now we can use darker than that shade, but we can't use lighter than that, or that same shade. So we're gonna go with a little cameo pink now. The more I do these, the better I get at them. I really do. You really don't gotta force it. You just gotta. Now, rinse this one off and put this to one side because I'm still not sure how I'm gonna do the eyes. Let's grab some of this Parisian pink and see how this looks on here. I think it's going to blend in too much. I think that's just going to blend. It blends in, I think, way too much with the hot rod red that we used for the chest and the head. That's just way too dark. See, it just, we'll put it on there, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of these in place for that reason, because this paint is too light. See, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Now, we've already got black ones, so I'm going to put some white hearts. Now, I know the white will stand out, and that's kind of what it's designed to do. So, get a little bit of this excess off because I don't want it looking all drizzly. See? And we can put a lot of these on here, because they really do stand out. Just try to find some places where the paint's dry. There we go. Let's see. We are going to do some shading, but that's going to wait till I get all the other done. That one didn't turn out quite as pretty, but it'll work. Now, let's figure out what we're going to do with the eyes, because the eyes have to be painted on here now, and I got to have the colors, and I think I'm going to go with white, because simply put, you don't want to give him pink eyes. Black eyes would look creepy. And I think black eyes would look a little bit weird. Okay. Now the paint color in the eyes, I'm just going to do this line around the edges several times till I get it filled in. Now, now, let's see if we can maybe make them a tad bigger. I have to get a little more paint and kind of make them a little bit larger. That was kind of a... I'll probably have to do 2 coats of paint around these eyes. This pink wants to bleed through bad. But such are the pitfalls when you try something new, which is what I am now doing. And I may have to do a little bit of edging it in, but there you are. Now, we're going to let that dry for a little bit, and we'll be back with you shortly. Alright, guys, we have given it a minute, and now, we're running low on card. So, I'll probably have to stop and upload this as a 2-parter, or at least get another card. But we'll try to see if I can finish it. I've got 3 minutes, so I'll probably end up having to do this as a 2-parter. So, we'll quickly grab some of this. I didn't want to grab this one, I grabbed the wrong brush. Great. Let me see why. Okay. So we're going to have to do this, and I'll probably end up having to do a little bit more. I'll have to go and upload this and then do it again. Alright, hang on. There we go. So, tell you what, guys, I'm going to have to do this as a 2-section. I'll edit the first part and then kind of link it to the second. It'll be a bit longer, but it'll be what it is. Okay, guys, we're about to continue to work on our owl. As you can see, we've got the paint dried. I've given it several hours. I'm going to go over the eyes again because they're not very big, and owls need to have very large eyes, and I have left my pinpoint brush back in here. Also, I had the good sense to bring some batteries in here in case that we have some Durafells or energizers. In other words, our regularly scheduled battery failure, which we all know, if I make enough video, it's going to do. So, and yeah, I know I'm sort of painting over a lot of the work that I did, but I needed to be able to put some eyes on here of a proper size. And the only way I know to do that is to make them a little bigger. We have to balance the idea of decoration between the ideas that this is an actual animal. Now, we got to figure out where we're going to put our shading. And I think I'm going to go right on this side. So, we're going to go right along this side here. trying to keep my batteries from rolling away. Now, go ahead and let's hit this. Now I've kind of got an idea of how I'm going to do the shading on this. We might come back to the white in a minute because there's probably still... And speaking of dead batteries, we just had one, and that regularly scheduled battery failure was brought to you by the energizer. It keeps dying and dying and dying. So now we're going to put... I really wish all this water would go away. I don't know why we're getting so much water. Let me see if this paint has tried to separate. Because I keep trying to do some shading on here and I keep getting water. It may be that my candy pink is trying to... There we go. I shook it up. Give it a little bit more. So that it won't bleed through. I don't need it bleeding through. See, right there, we're going to put a little bit. Now, we're going to be going with a different shade of pink on the actual pink part of this owl. As you can see, we went with... Whoa, it jumped out of my hand. Of course it did. See, I went with a little bit of white along the feet. And we've gone with pink right in here. Let's see here. If I had a helmet cam or something to attach to a cap, I could show you what's going on. I'm probably going to end up having to do a little bit more with the beak. And see, we also put a little white right here to highlight the beak, which is exactly where my knuckle just smacked into when it went flipping over the side. So we're going to have to touch that up. Then I'll have to clean my brush again. What a world we live in. Now, let's see. Now, for this pink part right in here, we're going to go with a little cameo pink because it's the same color that I used for the feet. And therefore a lighter color. Now, I could go in with shading, but what's the point of that? So, I'm adding... Hang on just a minute. I'm just trying to concentrate. Yeah. So, I actually have some interesting projects through the month of February. One of them I picked up on a channel, I think it was Arts and Crafts, which I think is going to be kind of a neat one. I don't know if I'm going to do it for this month or next month, but I am going to be doing it. I'm trying to keep this from going over the side. I don't want too much shading over here, or too much highlighting. But I've got to get... There we go. See, the problem is I want you to be able to see what I'm doing at the same time. And these owls, I don't know. For some reason, people really like these. And I've got a ladybug in here. What is that all about? It says, side effect of living in the country is you occasionally get ladybugs in the house. There we go. Living in the country, you occasionally get a ladybug in the house. Living in the country, you get all sorts of critters around. woke up early one morning some time ago to the sound of a raccoon knocking over my trash. That was not fun. They're coming home late at night only to find a possum wandering through my yard. Or not through my yard, through my carport. I've seen skunks. Never seen a bobcat, but I have seen skunks. Now we're going to put some eyes in here. Now, I could go and just kind of put like red or pink, but really that's just kind of creepy looking, so I don't really want to put a creepy looking eyeball in this thing. So we're going to stick with our theme, but since I know that we need to have a pupil, and we're going to put a twinkle in his eye so this thing's not staring into your soul. That would not be fun for me. Let's kind of even it up. Right now it looks like the African continent. His pupils are not even. I'm going to have to fix that. Hang on. Let me see if I can get a... I may have to repaint this whole eye. Yeah, I'm going to repaint that eye and then come back to it after it dries. And probably do a little bit of touch-up around the eye. Because I think I got a little black paint over where it don't need to be. What a world. Now, I'll clean that off. Let's hopefully not produce gray. I don't need gray. Not 50 shades, not 3 shades, not 1 shade, and it's turning gray. Of course it is. So, I'm going to have to let that dry a bit, and then come back and fix that eye. The one pupil looks good. The other one, I'm going to have to fix it. It don't look right. Get a little bit of this pink paint, come up here and just kind of clean around that. There we go. And we're going to let that dry a few minutes and we'll be back with you. Alright guys, while the paint's drying on our owl, I'm going to show you, it's another quick kind of a way to decorate for Valentine's. It's not going to be a project necessarily, but it is part of the decor for this year. Now I got this vase from Dollar Tree. It's just a red, kind of a pinkish red glass vase. It's actually kind of nice. And I got 2 packages of these. Now these are called heart picks. I got some in dark red, sparkly red, with styrofoam hearts at the top, and it's kind of like a skewer down here. And I got some with pink on them. Now what I'm planning on doing here is maybe making a bouquet of hearts, and we may actually decorate the vase before it's over with. I've kind of got some ideas, but I'm going to show you just a real quick, simple way to kind of get your decor started. So, we'll probably end up coming back to our vase at some point during the month, but I'm going to show you a quick way to do this. And alright, now that's most unfortunate. You'll notice there's a bit of a ding right there on this heart. And that's just a little bit big. Okay, right off the bat, this vase is a little bit heavy for what we need. I'm going to have to put a spacer or something down there to keep it from doing that. To keep so that these things will stick out over the top. Now, we just got to figure out what we're going to do. Because you got to have these, you can't have them just kind of falling in there. I don't want to put glue at the bottom of it. Now, candle wax would work, but I don't really want to do that. I just saw something. I've got a thought. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling at this point because I'm just kind of brainstorming because I didn't realize that these picks were that much smaller than this vase. I saw one of these little tea lights over here and I'm wondering something, as I do anytime I get something like that. You know, that would actually hold a light. Look at that. It's kind of neat. I wonder something. No. Huh. It's kind of neat. It's not exactly what we're doing right at this moment, but it is kind of an interesting thing. Now, back to what we were doing. Now, you could put some tissue paper or something down there at the bottom of it, but you don't want to. But if you're going to do that, you're eventually going to have to decorate it anyway. So what I propose to do is to take the entire bundle of these and figure that they can't all fall out at once. It's not bad. Now let's see if we can put some of these pink ones in the middle of it and make a nice little bouquet of hearts, shall we? Oh, we got one pushed down in there. Alright, we're going to have to pull this out because we got one of these dudes pushed down. I don't want any of them pushed down. Now, I know this is very, very simple, but I think if you do it right, the effect could be quite nice. And especially since we're going to come back to this vase at some point during the month and decorate it the rest of the way. I just want to kind of get the initials down on it to see, kind of get this working while I'm working on this. This is how a lot of our projects come out. Is us just trying to figure out what works and what does not. See, now that's actually kind of neat looking. Now, like I said, we're not going to leave it like this, but we are going to leave it like this for right now till I can get the next part of our video up. If you'll notice the rest of the decor, we've got a pink tablecloth going on, got some garland. I'm having to work in a very confined space. I'm not moving my drawers over there. That's got some of my tooling for some of the projects, and we're not moving my light fixture over here that I made, just because the fact that it's there and I need it where it is. But you're going to have more stuff up on that shelf as the month rolls on. Let's take a look at this again now. And let's see if we can. Yeah, it's ready for a second coat of white to go over the damage. So let's see here. And all you can see right now is the nozzle of this paint bottle. Sorry about that. And I may end up having to go one more coat, because this color did not do exactly what I wanted it to, and you're getting some bleed through. So there we go. Now that, we can let it dry for a few minutes, and it should be ready. And since we covered up a couple of these hearts, I'm going to go ahead and add maybe a couple more here and there. See, when you're drawing a heart like this with the paint, because paintbrush is not quite like a pencil, you don't have near as much control. Just kind of want to take it slow, like that. Do one more. Then we'll let our paint dry. So you can almost get a perfect heart every time. Now, the eye up there is kind of an anomaly. Let's do one more. So you kind of start with a V, then you put an M right on top of it, and there you are. A very quick way to paint hearts. See, and you can, once you get good at it, you can just do this all day long. And that looks real good. See, and you can even do like and granted, as you are painting these by hand, like real people, no two of these are going to be alike, but they're all going to be beautiful in their own way. And then that's what Valentine's Day is about. Alright guys, we're going to let this eye dry for a few minutes and then we'll get back to you. Alright guys, we gave the paint ample time to dry. Now we're going to see if we can put the hearts and maybe a little bit of a glimmer in the eye. And see if we can make this happen. This will be the first project of the month of February for us. So let's see if we can make it happen. I got such a beautiful little heart on this side. It's going to be a little hard to follow up on that one, but I hope I can. That first one looked awful. Let's see if we can pull it off. Get me some black paint. Come up here. Just remember. Oh, we're getting water. We're getting water. Can't have no water drizzling. I don't know where we're getting that water from, but we'll wipe it off. You start getting water down there on this paint, it does not do good things. Okay, I'm going to have to dry this brush off a little more. Now, let's try this again. I'm trying to be gentle. Okay. Try to not get too much out of sequence. Nicely done. Now, go ahead and I'll put the twinkle in one eye, but I'm going to have to just understand that when I put the twinkle in one eye, you're going to see the other one. It'll be the other one being done as soon as possible, but probably won't show that here because, I mean, if you do the one, you get an idea of how it's going to be done. I'll show you the difference. Alright. Really all you're trying to do, because we know where the light's coming from, so we know which direction the light's going to highlight at, and it's going to be right in here, and it's going to be right in here on this side. So see if I can do it without making a mess. Probably not. Yeah, that'll work. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Anyway, so that'll be the first project for the month of February for the Valentine's Day. Now, I hope you guys celebrate Valentine's with somebody you love. And I hope you guys have fun with it. And go out there and make something. Now, this is the wee hours of the morning. I've literally been up all night working on this, waiting for it to dry and just doing a few other things that need done. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. God bless. And I'll see you later. Don't forget to follow us on Pinterest, Patreon, and Facebook. Bye-bye.